With this year ending and the new year starting here pretty soon, a lot of you guys are considering new IT support. As you guys consider that support, I have a few things that you might want to consider before jumping into making a huge crucial decision and moving your business forward for the years coming. I'm going to give away the biggest secret that nobody wants anybody to know. We are all the same under the hood. We all sell antivirus, we all sell firewalls, we all sell help desk support, we all sell all of those things that people come out and tell you that we deliver. It's all of these products, anti-phishing, anti-spam. We're all the same when you lift the hood, and there's really nothing that unique about us. But there are several things that are differentiators that you should key in on. If you're meeting with a company like Intuitive Technologies, at this level, we've all earned the right to be here. What you're really considering purchasing here or committing to is a structure, and it's point A to point B, just like a car. All cars get you from point A to point B. It's just what kind of vehicle do you need to deliver that service? They all do the same thing. They all have a transmission, they all have an engine, they all have a body and some doors and a seat so you can get in and go. So all of us deliver point A to point B. It just depends on how you want to get there. So one of the questions we get is, why do prices fluctuate so much? You have someone charging $35 an hour to someone charging $450 an hour. And there's a big gap. And so with all of us delivering the same products, what is the difference? What's the differentiator there? A lot of times you're paying for specialization. Specialization in a particular product or service, whether that's a Microsoft product or a Google product, even industry-specific items that only your businesses of your type use. So those are specializations which are generally charged at a premium. The more generic people or people trying to break into the market are on the lower end of the spectrum most of the time. However, you do have to consider the fact that the market dictates a certain per hour charge or per unit charge, depending on how the company you're meeting with decides to structure their pricing. The market can dictate someone new charging a certain amount even though they lack the experience. This is the key to vetting your new vendors. It is understanding what is their collective experience as a team, what situations have they gone through, no different than if you're considering a new employee for your company on the interview process. These are all things to consider before looking at the price. Here's where companies start to take a little bit of an edge over one another or just a different flavor or different style. One of the things is process. So what process do they follow when they're executing things for your company? Is it a typical escalation hierarchy where you get the person answering the phone who transfers the message to level 1, and then you're transferred to level 2, level 3, level 4, and you never talk to level 4? Or is the process more simplistic where it's, I have a problem and I talk to the person that's delivering the solution, which is generally our model here at Intuitive Technologies. The other things that kind of start separating companies here is reputation. You can usually trust a company that you're referred to. So referrals count as heavyweight because they've been tried and true at that point. Reputation is huge. It can take years and years to establish a highly regarded reputation for a company, but it can only take a few minutes to destroy one. So reputation is key to our success at Intuitive Technologies and should be something considered when you're considering a new IT provider. Organization is another thing to consider here. Are they well organized and structured in a way that suits your needs? For some people, it is that hierarchy of needs that is okay for them. They might only need help desk support on simple issues, so the hierarchy seems to work okay. Or do they need a more custom tailored experience where they need a lot of one-on-one collaboration with whoever is dedicated to solving issues and delivering solutions to your team? This one is less important, but it is something to look out for, is brand. What is the brand delivering? What is the brand's reputation as a whole? A lot of companies can spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising and building that brand to look like something they're not. A lot of these companies look super professional, and they might be very good at delivering to a certain subset of clients. However, do not let the brand overshadow the three things that we just talked about. The key edge that any company can take in this is not products, it's not services, it's not items offered, it's really just experience. Experience is the one thing that cannot be met by any other company. It's the biggest differentiator that any of us have. Has this company gone through a traumatic event with a client before, and what was the outcome? Especially when we're coming into things like referrals, have the referring partner tell you What was a situation that was terrible for your company from an IT perspective, and how did this company that you're referring me to deliver you through that? What was your experience like through the entire process? Walk me through the communication. Walk me through the organizational steps that they took. That kind of thing. One helpful thing that I like to suggest that people do is think about every experience possible from an IT perspective on things that could go wrong. And then as you're investigating these companies to serve your company, use those scenarios in the interview process to flesh out who's suited to help you the best. The last thing I like to look at here is communication. How efficient is the communication between your company and the IT provider? How efficient is their process on their side? Like I described earlier, the hierarchy of tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, never being able to talk to the engineers on tier 4 and above. To me, that breaks down communication a lot and creates a lot of friction, as well as a lot of inefficiencies. So I look for a lot of point A to point B for resolution, as opposed to point A to B to C to D. So in order to make those best decisions for the company that's going to serve you best, is communication that works for you guys, core values, and core beliefs.